Okay, so we got to move our teams forward now, and the approach we're going to take is we're going to be focusing on the needs of our teams rather than just the cool AI tools that are out there that we want to bring in and utilize. Okay, and that means you got to understand what people are doing and what they're doing through the day and where the inefficiencies are. And by studying that, you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck from whatever we choose with an AI application. I'm watching it and I hear it, and now I'm starting to tremble a little bit, so I pull the covers up a little bit higher, and I'm thinking the worst. I mean, this has got to be, you know, a ninja or a pirate or something that's going to come here to kill me. And I can hear my heart beating through my chest. Okay, and then it approaches again and it moves up, and I notice it's a little bit small, so it's a small ninja. And then the shadow speaks and says, "Daddy, I can't sleep." What I'm hearing a lot of here is fear. Okay, because there's a misunderstanding or lack of knowledge about what we're doing with artificial intelligence. And I understand that. That's perfectly normal. But I also hear some excitement. And so what I like to think about it is it's fear versus fascination. And anytime we have something that changes on us or something that's new for us that we really don't understand or we haven't experienced before, we get both of these emotions. So they're perfectly normal. My goal today is to move you towards the fascination, okay? That's my goal, because there's a lot of good things, great things that are coming out of AI, and there's a lot of excitement around it. And you want to jump on that bandwagon. So that's important for you. A young girl, right, 7-year-old girl, she's going through, she's trying to figure out how to make stuff. She doesn't cook very often, right? She's a very light user of the utensils. Who would be an extreme user on the other end? Heavy user. Somebody who cooks a lot? A chef, very good. Okay, professional chefs. So that's what the Xylus company studied on both ends. They found out that this girl was frustrated because she couldn't work the can opener. Okay, it didn't work right, and she was very vocal about it. This stupid thing is not working right. That's a good piece of information. That tells them through a new kind of information, a qualitative type of information, that they might need to redesign their can opener. And that could improve things for all of us. Okay, so good information comes out from studying the extremes. Here is the set of products that they came up with as far as improving. Look at that pizza cutter up at the top. Does it look different? Yeah, what's missing? The handle, right? Why would you not put a handle on a pizza cutter? Okay, maybe the little girl had trouble working the pizza cutter, getting enough pressure down. This might be a better design for everybody. So what was it about design thinking that excited me? Well, years in the software industry, what happened was we would get requirements from our customer, we would work on it for 6 months, and we would throw it over the wall and say, here it is. And they'd come back and say, that's great, but we'd write down all the things they didn't love about it, and then we had a set of features that we worked on and we delivered to them over a course of time. So it was a great model. First time I used design thinking at IBM, everything changed. Okay, the customer was there by our side throughout the whole thing, and what was amazing was at the very end of that process, they knew exactly what we could do, what we couldn't do. They just knew everything about what they were getting, and there was no surprises. It just blew my mind, okay? It was like, wow, why hadn't we been doing this for years? And I've done this before where I thought I had the perfect program, and I go to somebody and I say, here's a couple others I considered, and they jump on one of them. And I've learned something. You know, there's something there that they liked about that other program that I didn't think was worthy, and so it made my program so much better. Okay, so to become a design thinker then, what we have to do is 3 things. We observe. This is where you listen to your client. Listen without thinking of the solution. Not easy to do, but very important to do, so you really get to the root of the problem that they have. Brainstorm. Work with others to get lots of ideas. That's the way to be creative. If you work with others, and we can do that as a network, you'll see a big exponential idea list come out, which is really great for innovative ideas. And then finally, experiment. Run multiple ideas by your clients. Okay? This is something we typically do not do, but if it's a really big program, something new you're doing, this is the way to do it. So we've talked about design thinking. We understand that it's a very extensive process that has different steps in it that work in an iterative way. But one of the things that came out of this is there's some amazing tools and techniques that can be utilized at all different times in our business world. When we're in meetings, whenever we're trying to make decisions or working with teams. So for example, the utilization of personas is a good thing. Extreme users, that's a great concept to utilize. Interviewing techniques is good. And brainstorming, of course, we all know how to brainstorm, but we can learn to do it better, through the processes we talked about today. And then, even things like experimenting and how to test out your ideas and test your assumptions. Those come up at all different types of times whenever we're working within the business world. So that's what we want to focus on today, is how to take those techniques and tools and utilize them throughout the process. So that's what I wanted to do today, is I wanted to say, okay, we're worried about what's the future like? How is it going to affect my job? And am I even going to have a job in the future? Well, let's deal with that by looking at some data and understand some things, and we'll look also at some of the critical skills you need, including critical thinking skills. Okay, with personas, I have a story to tell you about when I was talking to a group of salespeople at IBM one time, and we had two different personas we were considering, two different types of users. Melissa was one, and I think Cameron was the other. And we were talking about a change we wanted to make. And we got into a heated discussion about it. Okay, what was this change right for Melissa? Okay, and in the heat of the arguing, one of the guys just looked up and he said, "Why don't we just ask her?" And there was silence. Of course, she's not real, right? She's a persona. But I didn't even know what to say. But afterwards, I thought about it, and I thought that was incredible. That was remarkable, because that's exactly what a persona is supposed to do. Exactly. You feel like it's a real user, and in his mind, it was a real user.